Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Parminder here. Welcome to SAP S4HANA Simple Logistics Training. I hope you all are able to hear me clearly and you can also see my screen. Can anyone quickly confirm?
Yes, Parminder, we are good. I can see your screen.
Okay, that's good. So in our last session, we started with the procurement process. We have gone through that, what exactly the procurement process is, from purchase requisition to invoice. And we have also discussed that what are the changes which would be available in SAP S4HANA procurement process. Then we went into the system, we did the basic configurations in the system, and we run one cycle starting from the purchase order till invoice by using GUI transaction codes. After running that, we have run the same cycle. We went into the system. We went through from creation of purchase requisition to purchase order, good receipt, and invoicing part. We have also done by using Fiori applications. Then we went into the next topic where basically we have gone through the self-service purchase requisition, self-service procurement. We discussed that what would be the purpose of self-service procurement, why it has been introduced, and how it would be working. Basically, it is kind of an indent process for the departments, where departments people would be going ahead and creating a purchase requisitions by using a cart functionality where they need to put minimal entries, and most of the entries would be defaulted from the default values Fiori application for the user, and user would be putting only the what materials, what exactly is required, how much quantity required, and when required, and he will put all the items into the cart, and from that cart system will create a purchase requisition which will went ahead and it will go to the procurement department, and procurement department will proceed it further by putting a source to it, and then after putting a source they would be going ahead and uh, they would be going ahead and creating a purchase order and the further process. So that self-service procurement process also we completed in our last session. And today we will be moving ahead with some more functionalities which we discussed here, the category management, activity management, and vendor evaluation we will be doing. But before I proceed ahead, I will take a quick pause here to check if you guys have any questions. You can ask it now before I proceed ahead. Okay, guys. So if you don't have any question, let's proceed ahead. I would be first taking up the category management, because category management would be used at the multiple places. Category management. So category management is not a new terminology. Category management is available in the procurement, where basically procurement team or procurement manager or director, they divide their amount of work into different categories. Okay. Into various category, you define your work, you define into the various categories. So this category is not nothing, but it is a bucket or dimension where basically your certain materials and vendors would be there, and you would be having a certain people who would be working on this category. Then you would be defining that what is your target spends for that particular category, and what is the actual spends you have done, that you would be monitoring. So earlier we were having dimensions like purchase organization, we were having a dimension like purchase group, you can say. Now this is a one more dimension. Now this dimension basically is not part of your enterprise structure. Purchase organization, purchase group is a part of enterprise structure. This dimension is not part of the enterprise structure. This dimension would be actually combining some of the factors, some of the org elements, and it would be created on top of that. So what a category is there in SAP, it would be basically combination of your vendors plus material groups and associated employee which has been created as a business partner. This is a one category. This would be defined as a one category. Now the difference between a purchase org and purchase group is those are hard linked with your purchase orders. So once the purchase order has been created, purchasing organization and group and other things are there, you cannot change it. It's hard linked with your purchasing document. This category is not directly linking with the purchasing document. What links with the purchasing document? Under the material groups, there would be material or material group itself. That would be linking, or this vendor would be linking with the category, which means there would be a flexibility of this category to be generated after the procurement, during the procurement, or before the procurement. Anytime you can create this category, anytime you can change this category, it will not be having a direct influence on your purchasing documents. It is using some of the characteristics as a vendor codes and materials and material groups from your procurement documentation to define this category. So once this category has been defined, how this category would be used? This category would be used as a dimension to monitor procurement. So if you want to see, if you would be seeing your vendor evaluation score, you can compare the different categories which you have created. The different categories which you have created, you can compare those categories, and then you would be able to see that which category is doing, which categories vendors are doing better, or which category vendors you need to focus to do the improvement in the vendors and to develop the new vendors. You would be able to analyze your spends, that in which category how much spend we have done. You would also be able to analyze how much purchasing activities or purchase requisitions are there into a particular category. So apart from analyzing based on purchasing group, purchasing organization, all analytics, all analytical application which is available in S4HANA, there would also be a dimension of purchasing category, and you would also be able to monitor everything based on the purchasing category also. Okay, so what I will do, I will also show you a quick video on the category management so that you would be having a little bit more clarity that what actually the purchasing category is. I will stop sharing it. I will reshare it. Let me open YouTube, and from there I will play a quick video on the category management.
Let's get started with the first topic.
You are able to hear the video sound? Can you confirm on the chat window if you are able to hear the video sound?
Topic: definitions. Following the completion of the entire spend analysis, let's get started.
Okay.
Let's get started with the first topic, definitions. Following the completion of the entire spend analysis exercise at Lava, the international ice cream company, Anna, the CPO, and Paul, the CEO, have decided to implement category management. Anna meets with Paul to talk about her plan.
Hi Anna, so have we saved 85 million?
Not yet, Paul. As you remember from our previous meeting, we had decided to implement category management.
Exactly. Category management will contribute in achieving our business strategy to boost profit without compromising quality. So, what do you have for me?
I have worked on a plan.
Okay, that sounds good. If I remember correctly, category management involves managing individual categories as if it were a business unit.
That is right, Paul. There is no universal category management definition. To visualize category management, imagine a cross-functional team climbs into a helicopter and flies above the specific category, looking down on everything it does. From the supply market from which the category purchases the goods and services to the end customers it supplies. With such a vantage point, the team would be able to find opportunities for improvement.
The team would, for example, be able to see new potential suppliers?
Exactly. The cross-functional team would be able to see every part of the organization that consumes the category in question, how these are used as well as how they can be used more effectively.
Do you have a helicopter, Anna?
I wish I did, Paul. In reality, such a strategic insight has to be built. This is done through a cross-functional team that executes category management. They manage each category by following the category management process and by using appropriate tools, like, amongst others, the opportunity scan.
I hope you would have clarity on the category management now, what exactly the category management is. So if you have any questions, you can ask it before we proceed ahead. Any basic question on the category management before we create in the system.
So, Parminder, if I correctly understand, here it is typically the procurement team which will analyze their spend based on various categories, right? Like it might be indirect purchases also, like IT services, professional services, or some entertainment services and all, and they will assign a particular employee, like a particular strategic procurement buyer or somebody who will analyze the spend.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct. They can spend a particular employee or group of employees who would be analyzing that spend and who would be working on that category.
Okay.
Okay, so if we don't have any another question, I will quickly proceed ahead and we'll create a category. So I'm going inside Fiori. Inside Fiori, we are having classification and segmentation. Basically, in classification and segmentation, we are having managed purchasing categories. So in manage purchasing categories, you will see what category has been created, what categories are activated, and we will be going here and we'll be creating in our own category. So when we go ahead into our own category, the first thing we need to put it is the name of the category. I will be putting name of the category as SG02. SG02 category. Then we need to add suppliers. There would be a person responsible by default who is creating. Whoever the person is creating comes as a person responsible for that category. Although that can also be changed from here. You can go and put the person responsible, but that person responsible need to be created as an employee and the business partner need to be linked with it. So the HR configuration, which we have already done, because of that, my ID is coming and few more IDs are coming, which we have configured. Okay, so that part we need to do, and then we go into the add supplier. What are the supplier we want to add it here? We can put it here in the name. I will put SG0. Let me put only SG. So I'm putting this vendor. Some more vendors are there. So these suppliers, we are including it in our category. Okay, so you can include the multiple supplier. I'm including these ones. And then you can add more suppliers also. If you want to add more suppliers, let's say now I add some standard supplier from SAP 17 star. Supplier ID 17 star. So we have some US best practices supplier. So these supplier also, we can go and add it if you want to add in our category. Okay, with that information also you can save your category. It's not necessary that all things need to be put it up. Your category can be only a combination of supplier. It can be combination of supplier employees, or it can be combination of supplier employees and material groups. So let me first try to save to check it doesn't have any issue. Okay, it is saved. Now I can also add employees here for this category. So I'm putting these three peoples as who would be the part of this purchasing category. These three people would be part of the purchasing category. Here we can add the material groups also. Okay, and here you can put the plant spend also. So let me first put material group. So your spend analysis would be happening once the material groups comes in. So based on the combination of material group and vendor, system try to identify the purchasing document, and then it identify that how much spend has been defined and how much spend we can go ahead with. So I'm adding some material groups. Material group ID L star. Let's say I'm selecting all of these material groups. It says some of the material groups cannot be assigned because it is already assigned. This is already assigned to another purchasing category, so we cannot repeat this material group. to be assigned in this purchasing category. So I will just save it. Another issue is saying that this is a person responsible, the same person responsible cannot be an employee. So I will delete this also. So these two are the employees. I will save. It has been saved, and now I will go back and I will deactivate one of the another category so that we can also include the material groups. So this category, I will go into edit mode. Let me inactivate this one. Or let me try to remove material groups from here. So we'll have only L008 here. Rest all I'm removing. So in this purchasing category, I have removed all another material groups. So here, now in this one, it should also show our purchasing category, which we have created. So this is HG02 is our purchasing category. Right now, the total order value is 0 because we don't have a material groups here. We have a vendors. We have employees also, but we don't have a material groups. So we need to add the material groups. So I will go back and here I will commit and go into the edit part. So we have employees. The plant spend also I need to put it up, but let me first put the material groups. And select all of them apart from L008. So this is already assigned to ZA20. Let me now save it. Okay, this is saved successfully. Now if we will go back here and if I will refresh this one, my HG02 category, if I will check, I would be able to get the total order value here. So this is the total order value. I'm getting it here. And the supplier also, I will be able to get it for these different suppliers which we have selected. That in last 12 months, what is the spend has been done. If the vendor evaluation is also done, you will also see the overall score of these vendors. Okay, so right now we don't have overall score for this vendor because vendor evaluation is not done. If you have vendor evaluation, you will also see. So spend for last 12 months it is showing. At the material group level also, it shows that how many materials are included in particular material group and what is the last 12 months spend for each of this material group. That also system is showing us here. Now here we can also add our spend. I will add the plant spend. So I will add it for full year 01/01/2020 till 31/12/2020. We are expecting 220,000 of US dollar spent. Okay, so that is the plant spend I have created. Save it. Saved successfully. And then we can go again into the purchasing category. Now here you would also be able to see your plant spend. This is the plant spend to 20,000 USD, and you have already done that much of spend, which is showing is here, or it is showing at the top 182,917 US dollar. There are the multiple analytical applications available, which would be showing the comparison of this. All the analytical applications would be showing the analytical graph based on the different purchasing category comparisons. So here we have created the purchasing categories. So once a purchasing category is created, you would also see the activities here. The next topic is activities and task maintenance. You would be able to create activities under this purchasing activity. So that I will explain you what is activity, what is task, and how you can maintain it. So this category, once it has been created, it can be used for vendor evaluation. It can be used for your, it can also be used for your activity management. Also, you can identify your suppliers by using this category. You can put the category and system will be bringing the group of suppliers, or you can put the category and system will be bringing the person involved, people involved in that, which you can quickly put in your vendor evaluation or in the activity management. Okay, so this is basically your category management. We'll see some of the analytical applications once we complete activity management and once we complete the vendor evaluation, that where and what analytics you can see based on the category management. I will take a quick pause to check if you guys have any questions here. Sorry, your voice is breaking. Rajesh, your voice is breaking. Can you adjust your microphone? Yeah. No, still I cannot hear you. Can you type your question on the chat window? Okay, I got the question. So basically the employees which we have done here would be taking a part to work on this category. So you would be able to assign those employees some of the tasks. One thing is the monitoring. Okay, as we have seen in the videos, you know, those employees sit in a shopper and they monitor that category, that how much spend we have done, what under that material, what material groups or what vendors we have, how much spend we have done for that, and then they try to control that spend in that category. One thing is that monitoring they do. Second thing is that apart from the monitoring, they would be involved into the multiple activities and tasks related to managing that category. So there's a lot of activities and tasks which has been done for the vendor development team. So those activities and tasks would be assigned to them within the category, and they would be performing the specific activity task. So that tracking also you would be able to get it under category, that within the category what people are doing, what tasks they are doing, that you would be able to monitor. And they would also be able to go ahead and do the vendor evaluations, the soft vendor evaluation. They would be able to initiate it or get it done from the other people. That also they would be doing it. Okay, if you don't have any further question on this category management, sorry. Let's go ahead into our next topic, which is activity management. So in activity management, so what would be happening? So in your procurement department, actually not in procurement, this functionality can be used anywhere, but in your procurement department, we have two wings, right? One is the operational procurement, and second is called as a procurement planning. So operational procurement wing take care of, getting your purchase requisition getting generated, then purchase order, and then following up that the good receipt has been done and invoicing has been done. That is the operational procurement process, which they work on the operational procurement, following up from the vendor to get the deliveries done. Then second wing is procurement planning, or that is your vendor development team. This vendor development team would be also be doing a lot of tasks and activities under the procurement planning, which can start from, let's say, a new product has been introduced. For that new product, they would be starting integrating with the R&D team, getting the BOMs, drawings available, then analyzing it, that what components would be required. Those components, the new components which would be required, is similar to what existing customers, who can be the probable supplier to supply them, then identifying those probable suppliers and then generating some kind of workshops with them to inform that what new product has been introduced and what is our expectation, and then work on those suppliers, get quotations from them. Apart from quotation, you would also be doing a vendor review, whether that vendor is what we are selecting, whether that vendor is good enough, financially it is good enough, quality wise it is good enough, and all the other technical norms and the legal norms that vendor is following up. So that kind of things and evaluation you would be doing it up, and then you would be doing onboarding of vendor. Once this vendor is onboarded, then you create in system the vendor, right? But by the time the vendor get onboarded, there are a lot of activities which need to happen at the back end. So these all activities before the vendor onboard and after the vendor onboard also, your improvement in vendors. You would be monitoring their performance. And then based on the performance, you would be deciding, you would be doing some evaluations of them. Weekly evaluation, not weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly evaluations. Based on the evaluation, you will be defining some certain actions that vendor need to take it to improve its delivery, to improve its quality, to improve its overall performance that you will be defining, and you would be working with the vendor to make sure that all actions has been done. If you find that the performance is not good from the vendor, you would be again deciding to, in that same category, analyzing and developing a new vendor. New vendor need to be developed. So all these activities need to be done for the new vendor development. So these are the left-hand side. Right-hand side is the operational procurement, which has been done in ERP system, and in ECC system also it has been done. The left-hand side part is a little bit poor in the ECC system, okay? And it is not that good in S4HANA also. The earlier, the left-hand side part is generally managed through the SRM system or the Ariba system. Now with S4HANA, to handle this left-hand side part, they have also given some kind of tools like a vendor evaluation with questionnaire and activity management, task management they have given, which can handle some of the activity from the left-hand side. Not each and every activity. They also in the left-hand side, they do the bid management. creating a bids and getting a good vendor for it. And a lot of things they do it with vendor collaborations. So those all things are the procurement planning part. So advanced parts would be available through Ariba. Your complete vendor onboarding module, if you want to go ahead with, you can go ahead with Ariba. If you want to go ahead with bid management, you can go ahead with Ariba. But few small functionalities of like this activity and task management and your vendor evolution has been given within S4HANA. So now what is this activity and task? So this activity and task is very simple. It is basically kind of a to-do list which will be maintaining it. So I have defined that what kind of activities they need to do. So under these activities, if they need to do those activities, so if they need to do those activities, so you would be defining activity. And that activity you can define under a category. You can define under a category that activity need to happen. So within a category, you have launched new car. Okay, so let's say you have launched new car. And within the new car, you need a lot of metal components. For metal, there's some specific category. There is around 20 metal components, which would be the new materials, which would be going in this new car. So you can create an activity here to basically to make sure that components for new model rather than component vendors for new model car. To identify vendor for new model car. That can be a big level activity. Under this activity, you need to do the multiple tasks. A lot of tasks you need to do, and these tasks can be done by the multiple individuals, which is your employees, which you have assigned in your category. So you can define that, okay, this guy need to do a particular task. What he need to do, he need to collaborate with R&D department and get all drawings of component released from R&D, released and approved. Okay, so that can be done, and you can define the specific date that till what time it need to be done. Then you can say that, okay, this guy would be identifying existing vendors and contacting with them who are providing us the similar kind of components. He would be identifying those vendors. This guy would be doing it, he would be identifying new vendors who can deliver the components which has been given to us. And this guy would be working on to generate a workshop, vendor workshop, where would be explaining them that detail of all the materials which we have required, and we'll be explaining and putting our expectation that by when we need to make these things ready. Okay, and then whatever the vendor shows the interest, these two guys basically working on the task to initial vendor analysis. Whoever the vendor is showing interest, whether those vendors are basically equipped well to supply our requirements. They are good in financial conditions, their quality standards and the legal standard has been maintained. They have all the appliance certifications, technical certifications available with them, which we require. So those kind of analysis they would be doing. So these can be the task which need to be done. So these each task can be defined, multiple tasks can be given to an employee, and this task can be having a defined dates that what they need to do. And whenever a task need to be given, email will be triggered to them. And with the email trigger, they will be notified that a task has been assigned to them. And once they have completed the task, there would be a responsible person, your category responsible manager. He would be getting a notify through an email that the task has been completed. And then he would also be having a monitoring tools. Monitor applications would be there. From here, he would be able to monitor that what are the different tasks, what are the tasks which is in delay, or whatever the task for which due date is coming. He would be able to monitor it, and he would be also be able to send a reminders to them. So that is basically as simple as activity and task. It can be done for anything. I have explained you the procurement planning part. The operational procurement can also be use that. They can also have within the operational procurement, if the some materials we are expecting from vendors and the purchase order in delay, vendor has not supplied, you can create a task that to follow up from that vendor and get it know that what is the issue, why the supplies are coming with the delayed from that vendor. So that kind of operational task also you can assign it within the category. Any basic question on this explanation before I jump into the system? Any basic question that what is activity, what is task? Any basic question you have, you can ask it now before I go ahead into the system. Task basically as of now, Rajesh, the task is assigned to a single person. We don't have a functionality where basically multiple people need to be assigned to a single task. Task would be for a single people only. So this functionality is very basic functionality. So what I have seen that it is not like that this functionality, the people would be using first time any tool. They are actually already using some of the tools which is not SAP tools. The only thing is this basic functionality is now part of your SAP ERP system. Although earlier also these kind of functionality which I have seen, they use Excels, they use emails for these kind of functionalities, and based on that they are monitoring. Some of the another tools which people are used and very equipped tools are Jira, which I have seen that also has been used to monitor these task activities, you know, that in creating as a mini project to to develop these 20 components and identify vendor for them, creating a mini project in Jira, and then it would be having all the functionalities where basically you can put a task to a person, and then you can also put another people as a watcher, and one guy would be able to create further subtask to assign to another people. So one task can be group of task and subtask, and a task can be forwarded from one person to another person. And the analytical, beautiful analytical analytics will also be available to identify that who is the person is having how many number of tasks and is pending for how many days. Those kind of analytics is also available, and it can also be used on the mobile devices. So that kind of extended functionality, you will not find it here. The functionality which is available is very basic functionality. Okay. Whenever we are taking this to business, explaining that, okay, this functionality is there, business is having expecting very high expectation, as you are asking, that a task need to be forwarded to another person, and uh, 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 a task, if require a further task, some subtasks need to be created. So that kind of detailed functionality this tool doesn't have. Any other question, guys? Sorry, Rashish, your voice is again breaking. Okay, let's go ahead. If you have any question, you can put on the chat window. So let's do that in the system to manage our okay, any control to vendor master until tasks are completed? No, there is no automated control on the vendor master. Let's say if you want to block a vendor, you need to again create a task and tell somebody that okay, you should block a vendor till the time we are doing particular task. You can go into the source list and block that vendor. Otherwise, directly it is not linked with any kind of uh, vendor master linkages is not there. There is a very small configuration available. I will show you that what configuration we have here, which you can use it. I will show you that. So I'm going into the procurement related activities. So here you can manage the activities. You can also use the category management application. And from there also you would be able to create tasks. So in the manage activities, we need to first create an activity. We'll be giving a name to the activity is SG02. Activity. Type. So right now we are having only supplier development. This you can do the configuration. You can have more types of the activities to segregate activities that this kind of activity is related to the supplier development. This activity is in the operational procurement. This activity is only for the this segment of activity is only for the onboarding of vendors that you can create in the SPRO configuration. You can also assign that this activity would be linked with which purchasing category. So we have already created this purchasing category. So I'm assigning that this activity is linked to this purchasing category. Then you would also be able to monitor that in which purchasing category, how many tasks are open. Who is responsible? By default, it is showing my name. Start date. Let's say it is starting from August and it's ending till October. Status, whether it is started, I'm saying in progress. Priority is high for this activity. You can mention in the description that what things need to be included in this activity. New vendor development for new model of car. All components need to be identified and vendors to be onboarded. This is a basic description about this task. Then you can assign the suppliers if you already know that some particular suppliers would be in question of that. So you can also add a suppliers here, but that is not mandatory. Now we have already created a category. So we would be using this category to assign the vendors or employees we need to do. We can quickly assign from this category. So these are the vendors are there in this. So we can say that, okay, we want to go ahead with this vendor, and we would be targeting these vendors to get those components. Then you can add an employee here. So here also we have option add from purchasing category. So we have just clicked it here in that purchasing category. Whoever the employees are there, that is available here. That is available as a participants. I will add one more employee as myself. And you can attach the documents if you have some documents related to this activity need to be done, some project documents, some drawings and other things. Those documents can also be attached here. And here we'll be creating a task. Before that, I need to save it. The data has been saved successfully. Now here the option is to create task. So because we need to complete the exercise, I would be creating a task for myself itself. Okay, so you can click on this. You can see that you can select only one person, and then you can go ahead and create a task here. We can put a task name here. The task name is vendor development workshop arrangements. Due date of this, we are putting it as, say, by 21st we need to do it, and it's very high. Now you can assign that who is a processor. We have assigned the name there. When we are creating a task, the system has automatically picked that this would be the processor and this would be the email ID. Okay. So here we can put description, do all necessary arrange for vendor development workshop for new components. So that we are defining that this is the basically this is what need to be done within this task. So after that, we can also give a message to the processor. So this we have put it that what description, what need to be done in this task. You can give a message to processor. Complete SAP and let me know if any clarifications required. So this is the message to processor. And then you can also add some supplier if you already foresee that some supplier we need to work on that, but that is only for information. There is no communication which will be going to suppliers. So you can add a supplier, you can also add attachments, and then you can save it. So this has been saved now, okay, but it has not sent to the processor as of now. So to send to the processor, we need to click on this button, send. Then you will see that the communication will get updated. So you see that communication is updated. And let's also see whether an email has been triggered now. I will be checking from SOST. This is the email which has been just initiated by sender P-Sync and recipient says support@sastrageek.com. So it is saying that something has been assigned to you. Please do the activity and submit it. It doesn't tell what activity, what task it is. It just inform you that you can go there and do it. You can enhance this email applications, and basically you can also include what is the communication is there, that also you can include in the email itself. But for that, you need to do the enhancement of the email template. And then you can also include that what task, what activity, and what is the last communication from that. You can also include in this email itself, which will be going into the mailbox. Or once you see this, then what you would be doing it, you would be coming it here. I will go one step back. So here in the manage activities, our activity would now be available. So this is our activity. Okay. And I will go one step back. We have process task. Now process task is one. So the person who has assigned the task, he would be able to monitor the task from here. Okay, so there are two tasks are there. One is completed. Next task is due in 12 days. The priority is very high. The status is it is sent. It is sent to the processor to get that task processed. Okay, so from here the monitoring can be done. And from here the guy would be able to process the task. So this is the task which is assigned. If I click it here, so he will see that, okay, this is the message. So he can send the message to the purchaser back if any clarifications are required. So let's see, said, do we to get we need to get NDA signed from vendors for information shared with them. This is the clarification he wanted. He put it here, and then he would be saving it. And then he will say submit. So this we are submitting it, but it is not completed. And we'll see that if an email has been triggered now. Task has been assigned. Okay, after doing this, this message has been updated. If you want to send a communication, you need to click on this send. Then a communication will be triggered back. And if you will see here in the task, the status will be to be clarified. The status has been changed to the to be clarified. And an email has been triggered with the title clarification required for the task. This will be notifying to the purchaser, whoever is the owner of that task, that something has been updated in the communication for which the clarifications is required. Now the purchaser will go into this application and he will do the modifications. So he will go. So right now the both things I am doing, so both is under my name. Otherwise it will be going out of the bucket of the so the object is already locked. Okay. Let me come back out of it. Okay. So both things I am doing. Otherwise, if two people are doing it, the task would be going from their bucket to the another bucket. So we can now put it here. Please get NDA assigned. Save. Submit. And then send. Once you send it, it will be again sending an email notification that something has been reassigned. We will come back from here. In the process task, still it would be to be clarified. The status would be to be clarified, and when the person would be going ahead, and he can make the statement, okay, the things has been completed. NDA assigned and task completed. Save. Submit. Set to completed. So once it is completed, another email will be triggered to the owner that your task has been set to completed. That email will be triggered. And here also, if you will see the status of the task, it would be completed. Now the another thing is that here, once the task get completed, you will not be able to again reopen as of now. So this task which got completed, if you will try to go ahead again, it doesn't have a functionality to again change the task. I think I have opened the wrong task. This is our task which has been completed. So the edit part is not available now because the task has been completed. So this is basically small and a basic functionality to manage your some small task activities. You would be able to manage it from here. You would be able to track it from here. One of the additional benefits here it is that all the communication would be available within this communication. Within the task, all the communication would be available. The problem we find that the communication, there's a lot of communication between the different people would be saved in their email itself. Okay, and many another people would not be aware that what communication is going on. So if that communication need to be disclosed and the employee is one of your purchaser or responsible person is leaving a job and new guy is coming and a lot of task which is open which you need to carry forward, a lot of information goes with that employee, with that guy within the emails itself, where the discussion, a lot of discussions, a lot of decisions happens over the email. So that all discussions which can be required or useful for the multiple people in future also, we can put in this communication. Okay, all the decisions and all the another communication you can put under this tool, so that another person or a new person come, he would be able to know what are the tasks are there, what has been done so far, what discussion happened, what decision happened. He would be able to get all the information from this tool. That is one of the benefit from this one. I'll take a quick pause to check if you have any question on the activity and task management. If you have any question, you can ask it now. If you don't have any question on the activity and task management, then we would be jumping into the next topic, which is our vendor evaluation. Vendor evaluation with questionnaire we'll be discussing. That is next topic. Okay, let's move to the next topic, vendor evaluation. Vendor evaluation in S/4HANA. So basically, we already have a vendor evaluation in ECC also. In ECC, we can do the vendor evaluation based on your quality, on time. We can give a score based on the quality, based on the on time, or based on the delivery quantity. This is called on time, this is called in full. Based on the price variance. So based on this dimensions, we would be able to give scores to the vendor. And this score would be calculated to the overall score, which we call it as a operational score. So that functionality is already available in ECC, where we would be able to have these scores, operational score from the vendor. It would be automatically calculated, and we would be having that vendor scores available with us, which can further used whenever you are doing your vendor selection or source selection when you are doing. Yesterday we have seen that when we when we create purchase requisition to purchase order, we can assign a source, and during the source assignment, we can use that scores. And these scores, the data for these scores is already available in your purchase documents. From the purchase order, from the GR, from the invoice, you can actually get the data to get it calculated, and from your inspection lots. From your inspection lots, from your GRs and the purchasing documents, you can get all the data, and based on that, you can calculate your operational scores. Now, what thing is missing? If this thing is already available, what thing is missing is your soft evaluation score. What is soft evaluation score and why it is so important? Now what happens that you have a lot of, why we do this, all these things, so that we can identify if there is a risk from that vendor. Risk of disturbance in our supply chain. It can be based on the deliveries getting delayed. It can be based on the quality is reducing. Based on those things, if we are having some risk from that supplier, that our supplies can be stopped, or our supplies can, the quality of the supply can be deteriorated. For that purpose, we do this all things. Apart from this operational risk, you already have a lot of other risk which is not identified with these scores. What kind of those risks are there? Those are the risk which you can only do the evaluation. You need to do the soft evaluation. Based on that, you would be able to identify. Just for example, your vendor is in one of the country in Africa. Your vendor is one of the country in Africa where the political situation is not good. And because of the political situation, you feel that there can be some disturbance there. Because of that disturbance, your supplies can be stopped. Although so far this vendor is supplying good, we had this situation in one of the country, if I remember correctly, I think Zambia. In Zambia, they went ahead with the foreign currency cash crunch. So they was not having enough dollars available. So all of their import supplies got stuck. Due to that, multiple manufacturing industry need to stop for a couple of months. It was impacted for a couple of months. They were not having supplies, so they were not able to produce and provide the supplies further. So if your vendor are in those countries which can be affected to the political, or where basically another these kind of things would be there, or you are having a vendor from US where everything is good, political conditions are also stable, there's no another crisis which is coming up, but that vendor itself, it is having 100 quality score, 100 on time, 100 delivery, it's doing very good. But that vendor is actually, its financial condition are not good. From last 2 years, this vendor is continuously booking losses. So it can by any time it can go as a bankrupt. So if this vendor goes bankrupt and you are getting a supply from that vendor, and suddenly your vendor is stopped, to get a new vendor developed for a specific products which you are getting from a specific vendor, it's not an easy task. It takes months to develop a vendor. It takes months to develop a vendor, and it takes months, again, a month or a year to make it stabilized to have a good quality product coming from them. So that's a very long process. So if that kind of fluctuation happen and you are not prepared, you have not analyzed it, then your supply chain, your whole business can be impacted. Another reason which I have seen personally, the vendor is very good. He's doing perfect job, but he has a labor union issues. And due to this labor union issue, last year there were 2 times a strike happened. And again, the labor union issues are still there with this vendor. The collaboration between the management and the union is not good, and there are chances that there can again a strike can happen within that factory. So if that kind of thing happen, again your supplies will be halted, and the full supply chain will get disturbed. We have already seen this area due to the COVID situations, although you cannot foresee those situations. But due to this COVID situations, a lot of supplies got getting halted, coming from China or coming from another countries where the cases are very high. The transports are getting stopped, and because of that, the supply chains are getting impacted. So we try to foresee those kind of situation as much as possible. With the operational scoring from the vendors, we can foresee some limited risk. And then another risk which is hidden, which doesn't surface up from the data which we have from our procurement, GR or invoicing data, those are the soft risk, or those risks can only be evaluated with the soft evaluation. When somebody goes with the questionnaire and based on the questionnaire, he checks all the compliance, legal compliance, certifications, everything it checks. And based on that, you give score to the vendor. That is called your soft evaluation, and that is called your vendor soft evaluation score. In SAP has given this name as a questionnaire score. Or you can also call it as a vendor audit score. It is not that this process has not been followed by business. Business is still following this process, but it is not coming to the ERP. What is happening with this functionality in S/4HANA, that these scores also will be coming into the ERP, and your overall vendor score can be collaborated. You can put it together. You can do an average with the questionnaire score, quality score, on-time score, delivery score. You can do the weighted. You can do the average, and you can give the overall score. You can also say that the another functionality which is now available, you can also do the vendor evaluation on your purchasing category. For a particular purchasing category, if you say that this is 50% weightage I want to give, scores which is coming from soft evaluation, and then rest 50% on this criteria. And for another purchasing category, you want to equally divide 20, 20, 20% in all of these 4 or 5 categories. That also can be done. So on purchasing category itself, you can do the evaluation. I will take a quick pause here to check if you have any question on this basic explanation. I hope you would be able to understand what is the soft evaluation, soft vendor evaluation, and why it is required. How it need to be done, we'll see in the system, but this basic thing now you would be able to know. So if you have any questions till this point, you can ask it. By the time you are asking question, I will quickly going and bring some water. But you can ask a question. Okay, if you don't have any question, I will proceed ahead in the system. So these are the applications which will be using it. You can see the supplier evaluation. So these will be the application which we would be using it to do the vendor evaluation based on the soft criteria. So we need to, because this is based on the questionnaire. So first we need to create our question bank. And then with the question bank, we need to prepare a questionnaire. And that questionnaire, somebody need to visit the vendor, or maybe not visiting a vendor, just having a discussion with vendor and getting some of the documents available from the vendor. and based on the documents, he would be doing this evaluation. So, so these is the applications. So here, this is the one of the configuration which you can do here is supplier evaluation, weighting and scoring. You can put that what kind of weighting and scoring would be there for supplier evaluation with purchasing category or without purchasing category, you would be able to maintain it here. Okay, so right now this one without purchasing category, it is basically doing average of 20, 20, 20, 20 to these scores. Your questionnaire score, quality notification score, it is not calculating it. Your questionnaire score, price score, time score, quantity score, inspection lot score, it's just doing a weighted average of 20, 20, 20. If you want to have a specific criteria, so within there, that also you can see the quantity. For quantity also that what would be the variance would be there, that also you can define it here. That if the quantity variance is 100% in negative, the score would be 1. If the quantity variance is 20 in positive, the score would be 40. So that variance also you would be able to define it. So you can go ahead here if you want to create it for your category as S02 category. You want to put it, you can make that what should be the active. If you want to make everything active, you can put it here. And if you want your questionnaire score to have a more weightage, you can say this is 50% weightage for me. Quality notification is 10%. This is also 10%. Time is 10%. This is 15% quantity. Inspection lot is 5%. So this is the criteria you can maintain. Within that also you can go within the quantity based on what variance, what score need to be given, that also you can maintain it. So we have maintained this, the total score is 100%, and this is how it would be divided. And we can do the save. So our criteria for SG02 category 3 has been created here. And based on this percentage, system would be calculating the overall scores. So this is the one of the configuration which we need to do. All another part is part of the application. There's no specific SPRO configuration you need to do. As you have already seen that all new functionalities which has been introduced by SAP has hardly any SPRO configurations. All the configuration you need to do it from this Fiori application itself. And it's actually not a configuration, it's a key set of data which you need to maintain. Because this evaluation would be based on the questions. So first you need to do is manage your questions. You need to set up your questions. There are a lot of applications open. Let me quickly close them. So here you would be able to manage your questions. You need to create your questions. Before you create your questions, you can create sections and groups. Group is nothing, but it would be clubbing. It's a grouping of your questions, would be a group. And section would be the different section which you can have in the questionnaire. So in the questionnaire, you can have one section for quality. You can have one section for financial situation. You can have one section for political instability. So that kind of different sections you can have that you can maintain it here. So here, let's say I'm creating a group and the group name is quality performance. This is a group I'm creating it. I have saved the group. Now I'm creating a section here. The section name I will give SG02. Section. The group, we can assign the group which we have created to here. This is quality performance. Section would be, the name of the section would be quality certificates analysis. Check all required quality certifications are in place and TPM is implemented or not. So let's say that thing we want to check it. This is active. Internal note, you can put it blank and then I will save it. So I have created a section, I have created a group. Now I'll be maintaining a questions. So I'm creating a new question here. One question I will put it yes or no. Okay, so the first question name is ISO 9001 certification. Now I can group this question. I will be putting into the quality performance. So that is a grouping of the questions. The question text is, do vendor has valid ISO 9001 certification? Explanation, please attach certification. Attachment required, optional or mandatory, you can put it. You can say that this is optional. If vendor require, he can put the attachment. If it is yes, the score is 100, or if it is no, the score is 100, that you can do it here. Here the score would be either 100 or 0. Some comments. Comments are disabled or enabled. We said comments are enabled. If the certificate is there, the score will be 100. I'm saving it. So question has been saved. I will create a new question, which is a single answer. Question name is TPM implemented. Again, it's part of quality performance. What is status of TPM is total productive maintenance. Attachment is disabled. Comments are enabled. And here we need to also provide the answers. Answers and what is the score for answers. So first answer is TPM is fully operational. TPM is implemented but not followed well. And then TPM implementation is in progress. Just started. No plan. No plan to implement TPM. So based on this answers, this would be score. You can also adjust your score. So if it is TPM implementation is in progress, the score would be 50. So I can save this question. So we have created the question. The next step we need to do, we need to create a questionnaire from it. So there would be 100 or 1000 of question you can put. But when you are going to check a particular suppliers, which questions need to be included, you need to put in a questionnaire. So questions has been created. The next thing we'll be doing, we'll be creating a questionnaire. This is supplier evaluation. So we have created a questions. Next thing we are doing, we are creating a questionnaires. So I will create a new questionnaire. So the questionnaire, let's first fill the basic data. The questionnaire name is SG02. I'm responsible person. You can assign the purchasing category, SG02 category. Now you need to add the questions. First, we need to add a section. So we have created a section. This is our section. So we can also have a multiple sections. So I'm putting this quality performance section here. Now within this section and group, you can go ahead and add questions. So when you are adding a questions, you can actually go and select your group, that from that group you want to select the questions. So we have two questions here. I am selecting both of the questions. So the target score is 100 here. And what we are saying that the overall minimum score which is required is 50 for this questionnaire. So within this section, we will be having these two questions. For this question, the TPM implemented, we need to put target score is 100. Minimum is 60. You can also say that whether these are mandatory. So you can put these questions are mandatory, it need to be answered, that you can put it here. Then SG, I will give a name. SG02 questionnaire. And we'll save it. Before we save it, we need to also release it. So basic data is there, question is there, overall score is there. We have released it. Now let's save it. So now our questionnaire is released. So once the questionnaire is released, the next step would be to put this questionnaire into a template, and that template would be evaluated with your employees would be evaluating that template. So I'm going out of it and we'll go to manage templates now. Create a new template. Template name, I will put SG02 template. Email invitation would be given to the people who are supposed to do the vendor evaluation. So you can send in the invite. This email invitation, whatever you write it here, will go to your people who need to do the vendor evaluation. Please check vendor evaluation Fury app and do vendor evaluation as per deadlines provided. If you want to give some introduction to the questionnaire, you can also provide some introduction here. So this is the communication with supplier. This is the basic data, evaluation template name. Days until response deadline, I am putting it 20 days. We can assign a purchasing category here. Then you can assign appraisers. We can do the add appraisers here. Who would be doing evaluation? So I would be doing evaluation. I'm taking my name. Against which vendor we need to do the evaluation. We can also select from our purchase category. So we'll be selecting our vendor SG02 vendor, which is 37101. And we'll do the vendor evaluation for this one. So this is the vendor which we have assigned. Now we need to add questionnaire which we have created. I think questionnaire we have not assigned to the purchasing category. So this SG02 questionnaire which we have created, we'll be using that. Overall target score for this is 100. Minimum score, again I am putting it as a 50 here. If there is further evaluation history is there, then you would be able to get it from here if already some evaluations has been done for this template. Assignment, you can see that Parminder has been assigned for this vendor SG02, and this is the questionnaire which need to be followed. This we have already updated. I will save it. Then I will do a release for it. Once it is released, then I can do the start group based evaluation. I can click it here. Now this is sending an evaluation request. So basic data, the evaluation request is SG02 ER evaluation request. Response deadline is there. Period which need to be evaluated is, let's say, from June to mid-August. This is the period which need to be evaluated. Questionnaire has been assigned. Supplier is also assigned. Appraiser is assigned. I will click on submit evaluation request. Evaluation request has been successfully saved. Now, this would be creating an email. So you can see that the email, please evaluate the supplier. And here the text would be there. Please check vendor evaluation Fiori app and do vendor evaluation as per the deadline provided. This is a text which we have maintained in the application. The same text would be going as the email. So once this is done, next step would be the in hand of the guy who is doing the vendor evaluation. He need to go to the application and he need to do the vendor evaluation. So let's do that step also. Let me close this one. And we have managed the templates. We can monitor the responses from here, that what responses we are expected. So you can see that SG02, this is the deadline is 2908. We are pending reply. This is the status. So we can monitor that what are the open vendor evaluation can be monitored from here. Evaluate supplier, this is the one which the employees need to use it to do the evaluation. So if I'm clicking it here, it will be showing all of the things which is pending with me to do the evaluation. So this is the template which I need to evaluate. I will go inside it. Here the introduction would be there. We have not put it anything here, but whatever the introduction would be available. It shows me we have 2 questions here. So this is the first question. Do vendor has a valid ISO certification? Let's say I say yes. I can also put comment going to be expired next month. We can add links or we can add attachment for that certification. That can be done. What is status of TPM? TPM is implemented but not followed well. So that is what I am mentioning it here. That is the answer. I will save it. Okay, and then I will submit it. So it said the evaluation will be sent to the purchaser. Do you want to continue? I will say okay. Let's continue. That is sent to the. So you can see here now the result, the score is coming as a 87. So based on the things which has been done, based on the answer that we have provided, the score is coming as a 87. You can also see that what are the different answers are there. You can also see. So first question is 100, second is 75. So the average is coming as 87. Now if you go back, so here this both status is now submit. We can also monitor the responses from here, or we can also display the scorecards of the vendor from here. So you can see that this vendor evaluation is having a total score of 88. You want to see in detail. So you can see that this is a score 88 which has been given. You can see that what is the score at the different sections level. That also you can see. Within the section, whatever the different questions are there at the questions level, what is the score? And what has been answered in the question, that also you can see. So all detailed things you would be able to see from here. How many sections under the questionnaire, for each question, what answer has been given and what score has been provided. You would be able to get it from here. And based on that, you will say that the total score is 88. If you want to see the score histories, you would be able to see from here how the score has been changed. As of now, there is no history available here. We have just started it. So no history available here. If you want to see the analytics of it, you can come below. We'll be having a purchase analytics for the vendor evaluation. So this would be showing you the supplier evaluation scores by time, by price, by quantity. If you want to see the overall scores, this is the questionnaire scores. This is the overall supplier scores. So if you want to see the overall scores, you would also be able to see from here. So you can see the A20 vendors, the overall, the questionnaire score is 100 and the overall score is also 100. For SG02, our questionnaire score is 87.5 and the score based on the overall score which is coming is 43.75. Because system is still not calculating the operational scores, we need to check why operational scores are not there. The same way you would also be getting in all of your procurement analytics, you would be getting it here one field as a purchasing category, where you would also be able to do the evaluation based on the purchasing category. So this is the evaluation based on the purchasing category. So from here, you would be analyze your scores, the overall scores, you would be able to analyze it. And then from here, you can see the individual scores based on the price. If you want to see, if you just want to see the evaluation by questionnaire, that what is the questionnaire scores are there, that also you can evaluate from here. So SG02 37101 one vendor is having 87.5, another vendor is having a score of 100. So based on the different categories, you would be able to see it. Every place you will see the purchasing category. All the analysis and analytics, you would be able to do it at the purchase category level. And SAP has given a few more applications also. So you would be able to tweak your scores, operational supplier evaluation scores, you would be able to tweak it. So you can go it here to check your operational scores. If there is any operational score has been given. So here you can see the score is 100. It's coming from inspection load for this particular material, for this purchase order. You would also be able to change if the score need to be changed. The inspection load score, which is 100, you can put 80 and you can put some quality defect due to which this particular score you want to change it. And this would be available in your change history, that what was the actual score and what update you have done. That would be available here. Now the score has been changed to 80. So the manual operational score tweaking also, you would be able to do it from this application. So this is all about the vendor evaluation and vendor evaluation with the questionnaires. So we have gone through in detail and we have also gone through the full process that how this vendor evaluation can manage in the system, what steps are required and how it need to be done. I will take a quick pause to check if you guys have any questions here.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So in this vendor evaluation, so this evaluation is done by internal team, right? So whatever it is inside the organization. So the guy
Inside the
who is
organization and you need to create them as employee.
Yeah, as a BP, as an employee. And one more thing, what if vendor is not qualified in, is not in our range, 100 to 50, whatever it is, less than 50. I heard it will go for a vendor block, right? Is that right?
No, no, it automatically doesn't go for vendor block. Based on the evaluation results, when you see the evaluation results, you need to block it manually. Automatically, it will not go. There are
Okay.
automations that based on the vendor score, your vendor can be blocked. That functionality is not there. So you need to monitor your scores, and based on your monitoring, you need to take a call that this vendor is not doing good, and we need to block it immediately.
Mhm. Okay. In category management, we saw overall spend, right? On the top.
Mhm.
Is the invoiced amount or is the total purchased amount? Do we have any idea? Like when you create a purchase order, you have some amount and once it's invoiced something, right? So that category management was showing 188, right? Was it only
Yes.
purchase order created amount?
I think it should be purchase order created amount, but we can quickly check it to make it sure. If I remember correctly, it should be purchase order created, because as soon as we create a purchase order, that is a commitment to the vendor that we'll be buying it. But let's quickly check it. Let's see if from one of the analytical application we can check. I'm going into the purchasing spend. And let's see by purchasing category. So this is a purchasing category. It is showing SG02, and which is showing 2.88 euros. It is showing. So you can say it is a PO net amount. So whenever it is going with the spend, it is actually calculating for the PO net amount. We can also go based on the supplier. Display currency, I will change it to USD. So here I will do based on our purchase organization. SG02. Yeah, so it is showing you the PO net amount, 530 US dollar. It is showing us this is the PO net amount. We can also go into the documents. So this is the PO documents which we have created, 622, 23, 24, 25, which is not all of that we have considered as a GR. We have not done for all of them. Invoice we have not done for all of them. But still it is showing you the purchasing spend as 100%, because once the PO is created and it is approved, it will be showing that the purchasing spend is 100%.
Yeah, thank you.
So now a lot of different applications would be available here, analytical application. You can go through with these applications. The most number of analytical applications are available within the procurement itself. So here you can see that for purchase order also we have this applications where it shows you the overdue purchase orders. So from here you would be able to get all of your purchase orders which is overdue. You would be able to get it from here. Number of items, and then based on the value also you would be able to get it. Here also everywhere you would be having this purchasing category. So once you have created all of your purchasing category, you would be able to do the comparison that which purchasing category you need to focus where the overdues are more or where the spend is going ahead out of budget, you would be able to get it from here. So this is the average delivery time. System also shows you that what is the average delivery times for the purchase order. This data would be showing you some realistic data in the in the production system, where you have some actual purchase order created and then the delivery comings based on the actual basis transaction is happening. You can also check your spend variances, that what is the variance in the spend, that also you can check from here. If you want to check your purchase order values and scheduling agreement values, which has been created till last year, you can check it from here. Purchase orders which has been changed, okay, where the changes has been done, that also you can check it from here. So this is the purchasing analytics for purchase order. The same way you have a purchasing analytics for purchase requisition. Purchase requisition which has gone through the change, that you can get it from here. Purchase requisition which got created and you got automatically PO created for that without changing a purchase requisition. That system is showing you that what is that rate. As of now, it is 0. It also shows you that purchase order requisition approval time. What is the approval time for that? It's showing 0 because as soon as we create it, we approve it. From the flexible Fiori workflow, if it is going, what is the average approval time? That also system will be showing from here. From purchase requisition to purchase order getting created, what is the total lead times you will be getting from here? So for contract also, we are having analytics here, the contracts which is going to expire in next 90 days. You can check it from here. What is your off contract spend? Off contract spends means the spend which you have done without contracts, direct purchase orders. If you have done some spend, that is your off contract spend. Actually, the 100% spend which you have done is without contracts. For your quantity contract, how much is the consumption? For the different contract, what consumption has been done, what percentage of consumption has been done, you would be able to get it from here. So this is the released amount, and only for one of the places here, we are having a consumption amount, which is 2%. The release amount is very small. So multiple analytical applications are available. Query browser we have already discussed. Apart from the query browser, there are a lot of different analytical applications are available here, which you can browse through and which you can go through. So with this, guys, we'll be ending our session here, today's session, and we are also ending our training here. There is one video which is pending related to the procurement, which I have not assigned, is sourcing logic changes. In MRP, sourcing logic changes are there. That also we would be assigning it today to you guys. Sourcing logic changes. You can go through it. So in total, 4 additional videos we have assigned. So you can go through those videos. And after around 20 days, we'll be cross-checking with you that if you guys have any questions, queries, then we'll be scheduling one more session specifically to answer your question and queries.
One quick question, okay? In procurement, are these only the changes like self-service, BRF plus output, flexible release, category, activity, vendor evaluation, and sourcing logic? Are these only the changes?
Yes,
Apart
plus
from
the analytical
standardization?
applications, plus the analytical applications.
Yeah, analytical smart applications. Yes.
Yeah. These are the changes. Yes, you're correct. For the changes also, whatever the changes, there is a quick, I think 25 to 30 minutes video, which I have assigned, in the cockpit, that talks about all the changes which is there in procurement, sourcing and procurement, what kind of changes we have. Any another question, guys? Any another question, queries related to today's topic, irrelevant topics? Any other question, queries you have, you can ask it now. Or if you want, if you have any feedback from the training, which helps us to improve the training, that also you can provide us. Any feedback about the training or any other comments which you have, you can give it now.
One comment is, so when we have like US and Indian like combined classes, we have long weekends. So which if we can get it as a holiday, we can listen to your more classes. That's where most of the classes I missed. Maybe I think the same. So I think it
Okay.
will be covered next time.
Okay. Okay. Sure. We'll take care of that. Any another comment, guys?
No, Parminder, you are very professional and training is very, very good.
Thank
Very
you. Thank you,
informative.
Parit. Thank you.
Yeah, Pramod here, Parminder. Yeah, training was indeed very helpful for me, especially, and you also conduct corporate trainings, is it? If any company is trying to go for HANA in say after 3 years, and if you have a kind of training requirement for overseas, also you conduct separately, or it is through your company? How to approach you? Is it?
Yeah, so we have if you will go to our website, sastrageek.com. So not here, I need to open it outside. So if you will go to our website, sastrageek.com, there we have a particular section for the corporate trainings, and the major thing is corporate trainings only. So majorly we are actually dealing in corporate trainings only.
Yeah, even for prep phase also, like if a company already, if it is in, like our company is already in ECC from past 20 years, and we there is no any concrete plan. Initially we thought 2022, but due to COVID it might get extended, so yeah, before that we thought we'll have a session, but yeah, this is through sastrageek.com. Okay.
Yeah, sastrageek.com, we have a corporate training offerings. You can just click on know more, and you can fill this multiple trainings. So this is only limited, we have put it, but we are dealing in more trainings. So you can click on detail and you can submit a quick form, and then our team will get it connected with you to arrange a call to discuss it further. And we are doing it for the multiple companies. We are basically more engagement is there for the two things. One is the training. Second thing, we are also providing expert advisory solutions and solution architect kind of roles, where basically we have expert people which would be required on whenever it is required. And especially we have a more requirement from the business side, where there's the implementation partners are there, and they required somebody from business side to act as a solution architect who can overview the solution, who can go through the solution and comment that what other things are need to be corrected from the business point of view, or if the business got stuck in the implementation with some of the key problems, then our expert can pitch in and quickly provide the solution and resolve the issues. So that kind of consulting and advisory solution also we provide, and we also deal majorly in the corporate training.
And this you do on site as well, is it?
We do on site as well. Nowadays, everything is through online mode only.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we also have a people who has a US H1B, US B1 visas, and they have earlier traveled to US to provide the trainings.
Okay.
You can also directly drop an email on support@sastrageek.com. or best thing is you can just quickly fill this form and let us know what is the training requirement, and based on that we can take it further.
Okay. And this website access will be there for us, right? Like anytime we can, it is open for anyone, right? Like if they want to consult or anything, yeah.
Website is open. Website is open. The specific cockpit access which we have given to you, that is for 1 year.
Okay.
This website is open. A lot of materials is available in
2 years
website
before,
also.
right?
Sorry, 2 years?
Yeah,
Okay, 2 years. Maybe for the new courses we reduced to 1 year, but yeah, for simple logistics it's 2 years.
Okay.
Tell me one thing. Suppose tomorrow new versions comes, so add-on will be get the discounted rate, or how do you plan that?
Yeah, we have the same question from the multiple earlier participants. So we are planning once that 2009 version come to have a small session. So this was very big session. So we will be having only for 2009 what is changed in the sourcing and procurement, for 2009 what is changed in sales, for 2009 what is changed in the manufacturing. We will be having very small sessions for that with the very accommodating prices.
Thank you, Parmidar. All the
Sure.
best for engagement. God bless you.
Thank you, Puneet. So I wish you, all of you people, a very good luck in your futures. I hope the training which we have provided will definitely help you in your projects. It will also help you to get the certification done. And now you would be able to talk better with the clients and with the other participants in the projects. With more confidence, you would be able to talk with this knowledge. So we wish you very good luck for the near future so that you can get a good projects in SAP S/4HANA. Anytime you are looking for some new trainings, please visit our website. Every month we are launching a couple of new trainings, so you can get the information from there. So thank you everyone for giving us time for this training and joining us. We wish that we will be getting back to you in the future trainings. We'll be seeing back to you.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks a
thank
lot.
you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.